Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 on the channel. A special All-Star Race edition for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. And this should be a fun one. No points are on the line tonight, but we do have 19 drivers all fighting for one grand prize of $1 million. This field is going to be made up of winners for not only this season so far, but as well as the actual 2003 season from the All-Star Race on as well. So like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We'll see which one of your favorite drivers from 2004 will win this edition of the All-Star Race. That also means our next points race on this season will be the Coca-Cola 600. That will be taking place tomorrow night starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, we'll go racing on this game, same track, Coke 600. But the All-Star Race is tonight. You won't want to miss a thing. This race is going to fly by. It's only 90 laps. I have no clue what the segments are in the 2004 All-Star Race. If anybody knows down in the chat, let me know. But I have no clue how they split the segments up. What are the stipulations? So I guess we're about to find out right now. This is the All-Star Race. But welcome everybody into the stream. Ashton G, Patrick Chatterley, Billy Kramer, Black Ace, Cars One Boy. Welcome to the stream, everyone. All right. I have no clue where we're starting either. This is a randomized starting order, too. No qualifying, no practice attempts. I mean, we just have to roll right into this and hope we have the right setup. Looks like we're starting in 16th, so starting towards the back in this 19-car field. Here's the rules. All right, well, that didn't take long. Segment 1, you must make a 4-tire pit stop under green prior to segment 2. The field will be randomly inverted. After the inversion, you will need to race the final 2 segments and finish the last and first. Okay. So, is there 3 segments then? Is that what it's saying? Segment 1, 4-tire stop. You have to make it before stage 2. And then the field will be randomly inverted. After the inversion, you will need to race the final 2 segments. Okay, so 4-tire stop has to be made under green in segment 1. In segment 2, the field gets inverted. Nothing happens after segment 2 into the final segment. I have no clue how many laps are in each segment either. But I guess there's 3 segments. And the field will be randomly inverted after segment 1. 40 laps in the opening segment of tonight's All-Star Race. 90 laps I do know are total. I don't think there's any... Oh, jeez. Talk about spinning your tires on the initial start. Jimmy Johnson getting into the 2 of Rusty Wallace there. But the green flag is underway. Green flag is underway in the All-Star Race. Elliott Sadler leads the field off turn 4 on the opening lap, and he will lead lap 1. Johnson on the inside of his teammate Terry Labonte. These drivers can go more than 40 laps on fuel, but again, they will have to make a pit stop anyway for 4 tires, mandatory in segment 1. I don't think there's any eliminations. It didn't say anything about eliminations. I know in NASCAR Thunder 2004 there were eliminations after each segment, but I don't think there is here. Johnson checking up quite a bit off the exit of turn 4. He doesn't want to run into Rusty Wallace again like he did on the opening lap of the race. Yeah, good luck to your Cardinals tonight, Billy. A lot of game being made on the bottom of the racetrack right now for Jimmy Johnson. Slid the tires a little bit, though, getting into turn 3. Johnson, only a couple wins so far this season. He's won the All-Star Race a couple times in his career. As of this 2004 season, I'm not sure if he has won an All-Star Race at this point or not. Kyle Larson fan, welcome to the stream as well. Try to get to the outside of Rusty Wallace this time. Wallace has gained a couple spots off the start. Johnson's just kind of followed him through the field. Nothing doing there. And how about Elliott Sadler after leading lap 1's already back to the 9th position. Matt Kenseth is now the race leader at the front of the field. Only 19 cars, but these are the 19 fastest cars that you could have in this all-star race. This is the series best at the time. Johnson Racing at Lowe's Motor Speedway with the Lowe's sponsorship. Rusty Walsh definitely has a fast car here early on. Johnson just squeezes underneath him in the middle of 1 and 2. It definitely seems like the 48 is looking pretty sporty early on. It's a little on the loose side, but he's hanging on to it about as best as he possibly can. Sadler passes Ryan Newman through 3 and 4. Johnson going to do the same, but he can't quite clear the 12 like Sadler did. So behind the 38 car now. Sadler moving around a lot in the corners. Look at him trying to block Jimmy Johnson down the back straightaway. Oh, a little contact, and Sadler almost got into the wall getting into turn 3. Trying to make another block. When you have $1 million on the line, you're willing to do anything, even on lap 8. Drivers trying to put themselves in a good position for when those pit stops come about. Definitely going to see some split strategy as to who's going to pit when. Little contact with Kurt Busch. That launched Kurt up ahead, and that slowed Johnson down off the exit of turn 4. Stewart might get back underneath him. Car of the wall. Kurt Busch is wrecked. Caution is out on lap 9. A near miss for Jimmy Johnson as it happened right in front of him. Kurt Busch gets sideways in the center of turns 1 and 2, and we have our first caution of the race. Big step out. I don't know if he might have carried a little bit too much speed into the corner after the contact off of 4, where he got a great launch from the front bumper of Jimmy Johnson, but one way or another, Kurt goes around in turns 1 and 2. We get our first caution. Everybody's likely going to stay out, I'd have to assume. Remember, you have to make your green flag or your 4-tire stop under green. You cannot make it under the caution. So caution is out already. Did not take long. And Kurt Busch has crashed. 97 car, and I forgot there's double file restarts too, so this is similar to what we would see nowadays. Double file restart. Johnson gets the launch into 1 and 2 to the inside of Kenseth. Kurt did not pit. Actually was able to maintain his position there. Johnson goes from 5th up to 3rd. He was in the preferred lane, of course, as well on that restart. Jeff Gordon in the lead with Dale Jr. in 2nd. Tony Stewart has followed up to 4th place now. Kurt Busch still in the race. And I don't believe caution laps count either in the All-Star race. I believe all 90 laps you're going to see tonight will have to be ran under green. Johnson on the inside of Dale Jr. Jr. had a bit of a run himself there for a moment. Johnson is underneath him, though. Jr. trying to pinch him into turns 3 and 4. And now you got Hendrick Motorsports 1-2 at the front. Johnson drives it in deep. Clipped the apron, got out of the gas. He's trying to keep it off his teammate Gordon. That contact slowed the 48 down just enough for Gordon to take off. Jr. almost got underneath the 48. Johnson blocking him in the center of turns 1 and 2 now. Aggressive racing in this shorter race. Johnson to the inside of Gordon again into 3. This time Gordon gives him plenty of room, and Jimmy Johnson will take the lead off turn 4 for the first time here tonight. Gordon back to the inside. Johnson crowded him quite a bit. Gordon clips the apron. He stays underneath the 48, but Johnson gets loose off in turn 2, and he gets into the wall. Gordon getting right back to the lead. Johnson going to try to run it back down again. Tony Stewart's up to 3rd. He just passed Dale Jr. through turns 3 and 4 now. Kenseth underneath Dale Jr., and Jr. is getting freight trained all of a sudden. Johnson just could not hold the outside there. Trying to charge back to the inside of Gordon again. Gordon trying to block. Just barely going to pull clear. Look how close the 48 is behind the back bumper. The 24, and there's contact again. Giving the run to Jeff Gordon. Both cars towards the top now. Turns 1 and 2. Gordon almost ended up in the wall. Johnson got a little loose up there, but he does dive it underneath Gordon by the time they get to the start-finish line. Gordon led that last lap. No points on the line in this race, strictly for $1 million, as Johnson will take the lead into one. Very near close call that time. In turn 1, they made a little bit of contact, nothing too much. Gordon riding the high side again through 3 and 4. So we're almost halfway through segment number 1. Again, 4-tire stop will have to be made at some time under green flag conditions in this opening segment. Segment 2 will have a random inversion, so we really don't even know where all the drivers are going to be running at the end of the segment anyway. All you can really hope is that you just got to finish on the lead lap at the end of this opening segment. All 19 cars still on the racetrack. Johnson's not pulling away at all. He had to start 16th. He may have used his tires up just trying to get through the field. Of course, he brushed the wall once already, too, so that didn't help the right side tires at least. Getting into the wall in those opening couple laps. Stewart to the inside of Gordon. Gordon pushes way up the racetrack off turn 4. And Tony Stewart up to a race-high second position. He wants to take his first lead of the night. That's a little slideways getting into turn 1. Gordon wanted to get back down to the bottom after Stewart cleared him, but he couldn't. Kenseth is there. Kenseth's led a couple laps already in the race. And now Tony Stewart's drifting up wide. Kenseth underneath Stewart for second. Halfway through segment 1. We have a slow car on the backstretch heading into turn 3. And we have our first driver who will exit from the race. We'll have to wait and see who that will be. And that will leave just 18 cars on the track with a shot at $1 million. Yep, 90 laps for 40 in segment 1. I don't know what the last 2 segments are going to be in length. I would assume that the final segment will be the shortest. Johnson's definitely getting a little bit looser already. Just kind of had to go off a whim with the setup call. Not being able to practice before the race or qualify. Really had no say in what we were going to do here with the speed of the race car. Hanging it out off turn 4, getting looser lap after lap. He's going to try to hold on as long as he can before pitting because you're likely not going to see anybody pit beyond the first segment. Once they pit, they'll be good on fuel to the end. You won't want to lose that track position at all if you can help it. Unless we get any cautions, then obviously you can probably choose to pit under yellows in the second 2 stages, depending on where you're at in the running order. Stewart clears Kenseth. Off turn 4, maybe he's not quite clear yet. Ryan Newman back in the mix. He's underneath the 17 now. Newman trying to maybe go for his first lead of the race. Newman on the inside of Stewart. 2 by 2. Gordon underneath Kenseth as well. Side by side down the back stretch into turn 3. Johnson starting to drift high. So is Stewart. Here comes Ryan Newman to the inside. Johnson brushes the wall again off turn 4. He did that earlier when Gordon was underneath him off turn 2, and Johnson just can't get off the wall. He's still up against it, and he's going to lose a ton of ground. Ton of ground lost that time for Jimmy Johnson, and he's back to 6th. Ryan Newman to the lead. Third hit into the wall already in the first 24 laps. Car is definitely on the loose side, especially when he gets a car underneath him. Battles back on Kenseth quickly. Elliott Sadler back up to 4th. They're leading the opening lap of the race. Sadler won the Daytona 500 this season, giving him a spot in the All-Star race. Weren't even born in 2004. Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, they change the All-Star format every year, so who knows what it was like back in 2004. At least we know the rules, we just don't know how many laps are in each segment exactly. Stewart blocking Johnson, even up to the high side. Johnson crosses him over off the exit of turn 2 and gets it to cut in the center of the corner down to the bottom. Probably a little easier to cut the car in the center of the corner because it's looser, but really got to watch it is not snapping it too far down to the bottom because otherwise it's going to get really sideways off the exit of the corner. 14 laps to go in segment 1. Jeff Gordon going to maybe try the outside. Gordon gets into the wall. Gordon's into the wall. Johnson stacked up behind him, and that stacked up the field behind the 48. I think Newman threw a block on Gordon, and Gordon kept trying to go up, and he ended up clipping the wall, and Johnson had nowhere to go. Somehow Gordon never lost any momentum, and he's going after Newman for the lead off turn 4. A near accident. Sadler, meanwhile, got around Stewart after Stewart checked up behind the 48 of Johnson. Gordon could not get around that 12 car. Johnson trying to fight back. Definitely going to be repairing some damage when he comes onto pit road. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today when we get back to the start-finish line. It has been a wild one so far. One caution back on lap 8 for Kurt Busch spinning in turns 1 and 2. And not sure exactly who is out of the race. We didn't get to see who blew the engine in the first half of segment 1. Johnson all over the back of his teammate Gordon here. And the field will randomly get inverted. Gordon drifted high, maybe a little tight off the exit of turn 4. Johnson underneath him. Johnson's a little sideways. Tires are definitely getting old. He doesn't really have a strong car as far as handling goes. He's been loose since the drop of the green flag. It's only going to get worse and worse until he changes those tires. Why he's trying to go as far as he can. Look at Newman trying to block all the way into 3. On the 48 car who slips up on quarter entry. Had to give the positioning back to Newman. Johnson in the wall. He's pushing way too hard. I mean, that's one thing you got to figure out, though, guys. This is only a 90-lap race. Johnson just can't keep it off the wall. And Jeff Gordon will get around him for second place. Johnson just can't get the car to rotate as well as he would like. Trying that outside lane through turns 1 and 2. Maybe going to give him a little bit of a run down the back straightaway, and he gets back underneath his teammate Jeff Gordon into turn 3. Sends it into the corner. Gets it to stick, and he's all over the back of Newman again for the race lead off turn 4. 8 laps to go in segment 1. Jimmy Johnson right there. Nobody has made their green flag pit stop yet. Johnson drifting up the track. He kept it off the wall that time. Where's Gordon at? Not quite within striking distance. Now Johnson underneath the 12 of Newman. Side by side down the back straightaway. Newman must have got a really good exit to turn 3. Turn 2 and then into 3. To hold on, contact off turn 4. Great job by Newman keeping it off the wall, but Jimmy Johnson will get to the lead now with 7 laps to go in segment 1. And Newman set on the defense now for second place. And his car's all over the place. I'm definitely tightening it up when we make our pit stop. It might be the only pit stop of the night, barring any cautions. It is slippery. Gordon inside of Newman for second. Off 4 into 1. Johnson trying to protect that white line on the bottom. He doesn't want Gordon getting underneath him. Gordon trying to shake the 48 of Johnson. Johnson overdrives the corner. Gordon clear off turn 4. Jimmy lets his teammate by for now. 5 laps to go in segment 1. Still nobody has pit. They're waiting this out as long as they can. Johnson to the lead again into 1 and 2, it looks like. Challenging for it at least. Jeff Gordon, his car's so loose. Newman's going to get by on the high side up to second as well. Johnson lost a lot of momentum off the exit of turn 2. And now we have Kenseth hitting pit road from 4th place, and a couple other drivers further back will also pit. So a few drivers making their first stop of the night. And perhaps the only stop. Jeff Gordon, I think, is coming into the pits this time. No, he's not. I thought he was because of how low he went on corner entry into 3. That wasn't the case. Johnson did get around Ryan Newman on the bottom. Took the gamble that Gordon wasn't going to pit there, and he didn't. Johnson inside Gordon. Side by side into 3. Is Gordon going to want to pit here? Johnson will get around him in the center of the corner. Gordon's not going to be able to pit. No, he will pit anyway. Johnson slides. Got to get down to pit road speed. And Gordon did a great job outmaneuvering Johnson into the pits. Going to drop the air pressure 2 pounds. Move the wedge a half around to try and tighten this race car up. And this is the 4-tire mandatory pit stop. Coming to 2 laps to go in segment 1. A little bit of damage on the right front as you see already. It's only a 90-lap race, so I'm not too worried about it. Full race, we would definitely not be this aggressive early on. You guys know me. Not unless I know I could handle it. We're going for broke here. Not a very fast stop for Johnson. Comes out side by side there with Tony Stewart. A little brush off the side of the 20. Kenseth is going to race his way around Jimmy Johnson. There's Kurt Busch. That was not a very quick stop for Johnson. They had that damage to repair that probably didn't help. And Jeff Gordon will have the lead as they come to the white flag. Final lap of segment 2. Segment 1, sorry. Sorry about that. All these segments are getting in my brain. Kurt Busch going to let Jimmy Johnson go. They're battling for 4th. Johnson clears him off turn 4, but Jeff Gordon will win segment 1 in the All-Star race. Gordon's got 2 wins on the season so far, trying to get an exhibition win as well. 21 minutes into the first segment of the race, 40 laps complete. And the lineup for the next segment, after the inversion, Johnson actually gains a spot. He'll restart 3rd. Gordon is Gordon is 6th after finishing in the lead. Newman is 5th, so most of the top 10 is the same. But that is the inversion. Dale Jarrett and Kurt Busch will be on the front row for this double file restart. 30 laps in segment 2. That will mean 20 laps will be in the final segment. Green flag back in the air at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Oh, man, contact with Matt Kenseth. Johnson got shot out of a cannon that time. My goodness. Tried to tighten the car up as much as he can. I don't think Jarrett's got a really strong car compared to the 48. 48, the 12, and the 24 were definitely the fastest cars. Kurt Busch probably had some speed wrecked out of his. Johnson going for the lead into turn 1 now underneath the 88 of Dale Jarrett. Clear off turn 4. Jimmy Johnson back to the lead. His first lap led in the early going of segment number 2. The problem is I don't think we're going to have the choice in the election to pit if we want to at the end of this segment. So the second segment on tires plus the final segment is going to be 10 laps longer than what we had to go the first time. Knowing that was likely the only stop of the race. And again, unless we get a caution, Johnson's going to hope he made the right adjustment, and he's going to have to hope that his car can hang on in the long run because that's where he struggled. Not only handling, but even the speed as well as we got closer to the end of that first segment. Busch fighting the second place around Dale Jarrett. This 48 car definitely feels like it's got a lot more grip than it did before. Even in the clean air, it feels like it's got more grip than what it did in the clean air before the few laps we led in that first segment. Busch starting to run down that 48 again. Took him a few laps. Not quite within striking distance into turn 3 yet. He got about a car length and a half between the 48 and the 97. Kurt Busch, one of the benefactors of that inversion, getting a restart in second place for finishing 5th. And remember, he spun on lap 8. That was the only caution for incident we have had so far today. And then the segment 1 caution, of course. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Johnson entered in a little too flat. He had to check up a little more, but so did the 97. He entered in that same line, so Busch couldn't capitalize. Dale Jarrett doing a great job holding on to third for the moment. The field is under a blanket right now. I don't know why I keep cutting it into the apron. Definitely cost the 48 time there. Big block on Kurt Busch down the back straightaway. And again, Johnson holds on to the lead. Gordon underneath Jarrett finally, and he may be able to try and get underneath Busch. Busch gets really tight off turn 4, and Gordon could be there for second place before long. We'll alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race. It's only 90 laps, so we don't have too long to be able to do it both times. So here we go, and kind of adjustments that the 24 car make. Remember, Gordon won the opening segment. And he's going to drive right underneath the 48 of Johnson this time. Will Johnson be able to hold his car on the high side? He was not able to with the setup he had before. We'll see if he can do it now. So far, so good. At least off 4 into turn 1, all the way down the front stretch. He's trying to hang in there with his teammate. They're still side by side for the lead. This 48's definitely got a lot more grip. I think they definitely went the right way on the setup change. Does he have the speed on the high side in 3 and 4 again? No, but he does single file himself back down to the bottom behind Gordon. And in front of Stewart. Big launch in the center of the corner there for Johnson. Kind of undercut the corner again. Jeff Gordon seemingly has the fastest car so far in the race today as he passed his Hendrick Motorsports teammate. Again, he won the first segment. Really fast pit stop by his crew as well. Comparison to his teammate Johnson, who lost a couple spots on pit road. Under green. Went in second, came out fourth. He just can't find his way around the 24 car right now. He'll look low. Gordon crowds him down the straightaway into turn 3. Johnson's still there, and he gets it to stick on the bottom of the track into the corner. All clear off turn 4. Johnson fights back. And these two Hendrick teammates have gone at it so far. Friendly battle. But intense when you have $1 million on the line, of course. Gordon again, back to the inside of Johnson. Johnson trying to side draft him and pinch him in the center of the corner, and Johnson pushed a little too hard. That mistake off turn 4 allows Gordon to clear. Never made contact with the 24 car. He did a great job trying to pinch him cleanly, as cleanly as he could, and just overdrove the exit of the corner. He got back in the gas just a tad too soon. He's definitely got more grip. Drove it in a lot deeper than the 24 that time. He is all over his back bumper. So close. Now he looks low into turn 1. All clear off turn 2. And now trying to block. We're halfway through segment 2. Past halfway through the race in its entirety. We know we're going to be getting one more restart yet before the end of this race. At least one more. I don't think there's an inversion after the second segment. And if there is, they didn't tell us about it in the rules. They only stated that there was one. These tires are definitely going to be a lot older, though, for those final 20 laps. 50 laps on your tires to try and win a boatload of money. Racing clean with each other right now, although they're passing back and forth and still driving each other hard, but that could change at some point. Go back to the normal camera for the rest of the race now. The far chase cam, that is. Oh, Johnson, that way, way too deep into turn 1. He's going to push way up the track. Gordon entered really high, though, into 1 and 2. He was not in a great position there to try and get underneath the 48 after he had overdrove the beginning of the corner, and he did it again in 3 and 4. This time, Gordon will get underneath and challenge for the lead, it looks like. Johnson did a great job keeping it off the wall. Look at him trying to pinch Gordon and side draft him on entry into turn 1. This is very close racing between the teammates at HMS. Gordon side drafts him back, though, down the back straightaway. Johnson trying to get him back on corner entry into 3. Will Gordon be able to clear high off of turn 4? No, he will not. Johnson still has the nose there and gets the run off the exit in turn 4. Side by side for about a lap and a half. Johnson is digging on this upper groove, and Tony Stewart has caught up to these two now that they've been side by side for about 2 laps now. Johnson's got a pole into 3, but Gordon's got the advantage again on the bottom. Oh, Gordon almost pushed up in the center of the corner. Johnson was holding him tight. Great racing between the two HMS teammates with 10 laps to go in segment 2. Business is heating up. All it takes is one small mistake, and Stewart will be there to capitalize, and then some. Oh, a little contact. They're all right. Oh, that might have allowed Gordon to clear off turn 4, though. That little mistake by Johnson. Nope, not quite. Still not clear. Unbelievable battle for the lead. How many more laps are they going to be side by side like this? It's already been for 3 laps to this point. And how much of their tires are they using with still a whole 20-lap segment left after this? Johnson with a run off the exit of turn 2. Trying to fend off Gordon into 3. Gordon still sticks his nose underneath. Johnson side drafts the right rear quarter panel, pulls him back off the exit of the corner again. Because this 1.5 miles is so much narrow compared to a lot of the other 1.5 miles we go to. Stewart's not able to capitalize. Contact, and the teammates are in the wall. Gordon and Johnson are in the wall. After 4 plus almost 5 laps of running side by side, they finally got together, and somehow Jeff Gordon holds on to the lead, and we do stay green. How did Tony Stewart not capitalize? He passed the 48, but he couldn't get around the 24. Gordon somehow got back down in front of him. And most of that damage is going to go to the 48 of Johnson. Got 6 laps to go in segment 2 this time by. I know we're going to get another restart. Johnson would like to get back up there, though, if he can help it. Kevin Harvick up to 4th. We haven't really seen him all day. Stewart pushes a little bit wide off the exit of turn 4. Gordon bottoming out up there. Maybe he's got a tire rub after the contact with the 48. Nobody was really at fault there. They just... they made contact about a lap and a half prior to that, and they made it through it, but not that time. Johnson is closed back. Speed might have been knocked out of the 24 after all. He's trying to desperately block the 20 of Stewart. Stewart going to try the outside. Might just be to block the 48 of Johnson. Johnson trying to get the run down the back straightaway. He's underneath Stewart for a brief moment. Couldn't get him, though, into turn 3. 3 laps left in segment number 2. Jeff Gordon leads, Tony Stewart second, Jimmy Johnson third, all 3 under a blanket. Oh, a little bump to the left rear of Stewart. Johnson maybe getting a little impatient there. Right there on the 24 car. He's going to look to the high side. Oh, and he might get there. He's there. Johnson is there on turn 4, but he pushed it into the wall a little too hard. And Stewart's back to second just like that. That might have been the last chance for Johnson to win segment 2. Jeff Gordon trying to win each of the first 2 segments tonight in the All-Star race. Does Tony Stewart have anything for him as they come to the white flag? Johnson wants to at least get around Stewart so he can restart on that front row if he can help it. He's underneath the 20 car, down the back straightaway. Going to enter in pretty deep into turn 3. And he'll get around Stewart at least. But he's not going to have a chance to get to Jeff Gordon. Segment 2 winner, Jeff Gordon. He has swept Stage 1, Stage 2, Segment 1, Segment 2, whatever you want to call it, back in 2004. And this will be the starting lineup to this final segment. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson on the front row, Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, row 2, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, row 3, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, row 4, Elliott Sadler, Terry Labonte, row 5. 20 laps to decide who will take home $1 million. 2 drivers out of the race, that's it. Green flag back in the air. Gordon leads the field to the green. Johnson spins his tires getting into one. He saw how wiggly he got, and he's going to lose a bunch of positions. Still on the outside into turn 3 as Gordon holds on to the lead at the front of the field right now. Johnson's got more grip, though, to run the top. And he clears Elliott Sadler off turn 4 in 5th. 19 laps to go as they're up to speed at Charlotte. Oh, into the left rear of Junior. That knocked him right into Kurt Busch. Junior clear. He's up to 3rd. Somehow the 97 got the worst end in that. Johnson sends it into 3. Clears both Kurt Busch and Dale Jr. up to 3rd. Kurt crosses over Dale Jr. for 4th place as well. 18 laps to go. And Gordon, who has by far led the most laps tonight, trying to seal the deal as he pulls Stewart in 1 and 2. Johnson to the inside of Stewart into 3. Almost got into him. That was really close, but he will clear him off turn 4 for 2nd place. Eyes set on the 24 of Gordon. Gordon going to make this car wide, but not wide enough as Johnson just had a huge run down the front stretch that Gordon couldn't do anything with. Johnson to the lead at Charlotte. Now can he bring home $1 million? 16 laps to go this time by. Gordon wiggles on corner entry into 3, and Tony Stewart's going to get to the inside for 2nd place. Hit that like button, everybody. And get on the edge of your seat while you're at it. Smoke up to 2nd. Johnson just trying to do whatever he can, really. Block high side, block the low side. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win this race. And he's got 15 more laps to seal the deal. Gordon with a great crossover there on Tony Stewart. Top 3 just keep battling back and forth, especially 2nd place. Now Gordon goes wide, and he overdrives 1 and 2, and Stewart's right there again. This is helping Johnson. He's not really pulling away, but it's helping keep a little bit of pressure off of them. They keep crossing each other over like this, but it's allowing guys like Harvick and Dale Jr. from behind to close in. 14 laps to go. Remember, they all have to be ran under green. Johnson overdrives the center of the corner. He hangs on. He was sliding around quite a bit, but he didn't want to get out of the gas. Any extra that stacks up Stewart just a little bit for Gordon to get underneath him again. How about Kurt Busch up to 4th place? He goes up the track a little bit, though, and Dale Jr. might get underneath him. Gordon trying to get underneath his teammate Johnson. Johnson throws a block past the start-finish line, and he'll throw another block into turn 1. Trying to back the car up as much as he can to enter flat, still hold it around the bottom of the track, and it's part of why he's not getting away, but he doesn't want anybody to get underneath him if he can help it. Definitely got a lot of pressure on him, probably more than what he's had all day long. Stewart trying to squeeze into one, nowhere to go. Junior all over the 20's back bumper right now. And now Stewart moves wide. I think it was just to pull up and clear the 24. Dale Jr., who has not led a lap all night long, is underneath Gordon. Stewart to the inside of Johnson for the lead. Johnson gets a little loose off turn 4. Remember, these tires are starting to get a little bit older, but he hangs on to the race car. 11 laps to go, side by side for the lead in the All-Star race. Johnson squeezes Tony Stewart. Big time side draft there. Now can he pull clear down the back straightaway? He's loose. Now he side drafts Stewart back into turn 3. Stewart's going to have a chance to clear off turn 4. Will he pull high? He had a chance. Johnson puts it in the wall anyway. Oh, Junior up the middle, 3 wide. What a move by Dale Jr. Splitting the Hendrick Chevys. He got around Johnson. I don't think he's going to get around Gordon, though. Gordon to second. Tony Stewart leads as they come to 9 laps to go. Jimmy Johnson back to 5th now after sliding a little too much. 2 laps too many. Should say 1 lap too many. First lap he was able to hold on to it. The second lap not so much. Remember, if we do get any cautions, it's double file restarts. Johnson gets by Kurt Busch for 4th. Johnson trying to get underneath Junior. Junior crowds him. Top 5 under a blanket. Stewart moved wide. Junior did as well. Johnson's underneath him. Johnson's car starting to move around much like it did back in segment 1 before he made these adjustment changes. The longest these drivers have had to go on tires so far today, once we got to lap 10 in this segment. Just shy of it, I should say. Oh, top 3 all going to go a little bit wide. Off the exit in turn 4. Stewart almost got into the wall. Johnson underneath Gordon. Somehow got the car to cut in the center of the corner on the older tires. And he's up to second place with Stewart still in the lead with 6 to go. Should say 6 to go this time by. Johnson going wide off turn 2. Not going to work there. Going to go down low to block Gordon. And he may get underneath Tony Stewart again into turn 3. Oh, man, just couldn't hold it. Gordon lost a lot of ground. Oh, and Jimmy fights back under Stewart. Stewart crowds him. Stewart with 2 wins. 2 for Johnson, 2 for Gordon. Only Kurt Busch has a win this year. Junior's got 2, if I'm not mistaken. Johnson again to the inside of Stewart off the exit of 4. Side drafted him just enough. 5 laps to go as Stewart led at the line that time. And Johnson will take the lead into 1. As the crew chief, which I guess would be Chad Cannell, said, he's trying to put some separation on the field. I don't think that's going to happen at this juncture. Everybody's sliding around. Remember, if we do get to the final lap, or when we do get to the final lap, no cautions come out on the final lap of the NASCAR EA Sports game. Great corner entry for Jimmy Johnson. He arced it off, and he was able to get down in time before Gordon could get there. He does separate Gordon by about a half a car length, and that's about as much as he's going to be able to get at least that time. Stewart to the inside of Jeff Gordon for position. Will he clear him off turn 4? Yes, he will. He'll shut the door. 3 laps to go for Jimmy Johnson. Gordon, who won the first 2 segments, in third. Oh, Stewart's going to get to the bottom. Johnson trying to pinch him as much as he could, but he slides off 4 again. Stewart's going to lead at the line. And I think he's going to pull clear of Jimmy Johnson. Tony Stewart with 2 to go is out in front. Kurt Busch to the inside of Gordon. Now that is 4 position for third. Johnson trying to get back to the inside of Stewart. Stewart not even going to block there. He'll wait till the corner to do it. Johnson trying to get around the 20. Can he get to the outside? Stewart will give him the top, but he's not going to give him the bottom. Final lap of the All-Star race. $1 million on the line. Tony Stewart is less than a mile and a half away. Johnson trying to get up off turn 2 as good as he possibly can. He'll pull low. Stewart doesn't even block to the inside. Johnson's got the run into turn 3. Stewart is hung up. Johnson's clear off turn 4. Kurt to the inside. Jimmy Johnson will win the 2004 All-Star race. $1 million to Jimmy Johnson and a last lap pass on Tony Stewart to win the Nextel All-Star race. Third win, though it is a 9-points victory, but Johnson will take the W, and this will be some added momentum and extra 90 laps of practice for the Coke 600 tomorrow. An extra smoke show for the crowd. It's going to be like my best burnout on this game. I don't think I've gotten a burnout like this on this game before. Wow. That's how you do it. Didn't even burn the engine up either. And then it just like disappears out of nowhere, but oh well. If only it was real money for me, but that's okay. Maybe someday. Jimmy Johnson wins at the self-titled Lowe's Motor Speedway with Lowe's as the sponsor throughout the course of the season. There we go. Big time win for Johnson. A last lap pass. Stewart did come away with the second place finish still. And there's a look at your official results. Kurt Busch ended up third. Dale Jr. fourth. Jeff Gordon rounded out the top 5. Man, he fell all the way back to 5th. Gordon won the first 2 segments, but not the third, and he led the most laps by far today as well. Kevin Harvick 6th, Ryan Newman 7th, Matt Kenseth 8th, Elliott Sadler 9th, and Michael Waltrip rounds out the top 10. Johnson led 34 laps. Gordon had to have led more. Oh, no, I guess we led the most laps. Gordon led 29. We led 34. I did not think Johnson led that many laps. Gordon did win the first 2 segments, though, and I do think he still had the fastest car. It seemed like when he was out in front, it was a lot harder to pass him. And I just cannot believe Stewart, he was blocking most of the race, but he didn't block on the last lap down the back straightaway for whatever reason, like he did every lap prior to that. It's like he just gave the win away. That was very strange. Take a look at who all DNF'd. I did not see who any of the engine failures went to. Bobby Labonte and Joe Nemechek DNF'd. Rusty Wallace and Greg Biffle DNF'd. Dale Jarrett DNF'd late. That would have been late in segment 3. So we actually had 5 drivers fail to finish. Only 14 cars finished the race out of the 19. It was only 90 laps. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of DNFs in tomorrow's Coke 600. I can all but guarantee it. I mean, I think it was Texas. It would have been the last 500-mile race we ran on a non-super speedway in Texas. And it was a mile and a half. We had a ton of engine failures. We went caution-free, but I think we had 11 drivers DNF at the end of the race. So we'll see how many we'll have tomorrow. And tune in. I mean, you never know. We may set a record for the longest race ever in channel's history. The record currently is the NASCAR Heat 4 Coke 600. at 3 hours and 46 minutes. The Busch Series race at Old Spice Speedway we ran a couple weeks ago on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. That was close. I think that was at 3 hours 35 minutes. This race will definitely be up there tomorrow. So we'll see. Jimmy Johnson, your All-Star Race winner. Thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. Like, share, and subscribe if you are new for more daily NASCAR content. Well, even if you're not new, hit the like button. And 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time tomorrow. NASCAR Chase for the Cup 05. We'll be racing at the Lowe's Motor Speedway again. Points racing though tomorrow, the Coca-Cola 600 Crown Jewel event. We'll see if Johnson can get the Charlotte sweep. And we'll be running that Pride paint scheme once again. Of course, with it being Coca-Cola 600 weekend, that's where he actually ran that scheme back in 2003. Really, every year, Johnson's had some sort of a Pride scheme for the longest time. So, thanks, everybody. Catch you tomorrow. And yes, the Coke 600 will be a live stream, not a premiere. But see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m.